Commander Lee Tae-ho stood before the massive display screen in Earth's Planetary Defense Center. The screen showed a map of nearby star systems, each one marked with different colored dots. Red dots meant danger. Yellow dots meant unknown activity. Green dots meant safe. Today there were too many red dots. "Sir, we're getting more signals from the Proxima system," said Lieutenant Park Min-soo, looking up from his control station. "It looks like another big battle happened there." Lee Tae-ho nodded slowly. For the past 50 years, he had watched the galaxy tear itself apart in war. 3 alien groups fought each other across the stars. The Vorthak Empire wanted to control everything. The Helix Confederation used advanced machines to fight. The Drift clans moved from planet to planet, taking what they needed. None of them knew about Earth. "How many ships this time?" Lee Tae-ho asked. "At least 300, sir. Maybe more. The energy readings are huge." Lee Tae-ho rubbed his tired eyes. Earth had been hiding for over 200 years. When humans first sent a probe to meet aliens, the probe was destroyed instantly. The message was clear: stay away. So Earth's leaders made a plan called the Great Silence. No signals going out, no lights that aliens could see, no trace that humans existed. Dr. Park So-jin walked into the command center carrying a thick folder of papers. She was Earth's top expert on alien life, even though she had never met an alien. Her job was to listen to alien communications and learn about them from far away. "Commander, I have the latest reports," she said, setting the folder on his desk. "The war is getting worse. The Helix Confederation lost 12 planets last month. The Vorthak Empire is pushing deeper into their territory." "What about the Drift clans?" Lee Tae-ho asked. "They're moving toward the outer rim. Some of our sensors detected their ships near the Wolf system. That's only 20 light-years from here." Lee Tae-ho felt his stomach tighten. 20 light-years. Was close. Too close. "Are they heading this way?" "I don't think so. They seem to be running from something. The Vorthak Empire has new weapons. Very powerful ones." Captain Kim Hyun-woo entered the room just as Dr. Park So-jin finished speaking. Kim Hyun-woo led Earth's most elite soldiers, called the Ranger Corps. They trained for a war that hopefully would never come. He was young for a captain, only 35, but he was the best fighter Earth had ever produced. "Commander, we need to talk," Kim Hyun-woo said, his face serious. "My teams have been practicing with the new defensive systems. We have a problem." "What kind of problem?" "If aliens come here with the weapons Dr. Park described, our defenses won't hold for long. We're tough, but we're not magic." Lee Tae-ho looked at the 3 people in front of him. They represented Earth's best hope for survival. A commander who kept Earth hidden. A scientist who studied enemies they had never fought. A soldier who trained for battles that might be impossible to win. "Let's go to the council chamber," Lee Tae-ho said. "The Global Council is meeting in 1 hour. They need to hear this." The 4 of them walked through the underground hallways of the defense center. The base was built inside a mountain in Korea, hidden from any sensors that might be looking for it. Earth had many bases like this one, all connected by secret tunnels and communication systems. The council chamber was a large round room with seats for 50 people. Today only 12 seats were filled. These 12 people made all the important decisions for Earth. They came from different countries, but they all agreed on one thing: Earth must stay hidden. Lee Tae-ho stood at the center of the room. "Council members, Dr. Park has new information about the Galactic War. The situation is getting worse." Dr. Park So-jin stepped forward. She activated a holographic display that showed the galaxy. Red areas showed where fighting was happening. There was a lot of red. "The war has been going on for 93 years, she began. "In that time, over 400 planets have been destroyed or abandoned. Billions of aliens have died. The 3 factions are running out of resources and getting more desperate." Council member Chen Wei-ming raised his hand. "Dr. Park, are any of the factions moving toward Earth?" "Not directly, but refugee ships are fleeing the war zones. Some of them are heading in our direction. If they find Earth, they might tell others about us." Council member Sarah Johnson leaned forward. "What do you recommend?" Lee Tae-ho answered. "We have 3 choices," First, we can do nothing and hope nobody finds us. Second, we can reveal ourselves and try to join one of the factions. Third, we can prepare for war and hope we're strong enough to defend ourselves. What about a fourth choice? Asked Council Member Petrov Nikolai. We could help the refugees without revealing ourselves, give them supplies or point them towards safe planets. Kim Hyun-woo shook his head. Sir, that's too dangerous. If we help anyone, they'll want to know who we are and where we came from. Our location would be discovered. The council members talked quietly among themselves. Lee Tae-ho could hear fragments of their conversations. Some wanted to maintain the great silence, no matter what. Others thought it was time to make contact with the galaxy. A few believed Earth should prepare for war. Council leader Maria Santos stood up. She was an elderly woman from Brazil who had led the Global Council for 15 years. Commander Lee, what is your professional opinion? Lee Tae-ho thought carefully before answering. Council leader, I believe we should continue the great silence, but we must also prepare for the worst. We should increase military production and improve our defenses. If someone finds us, we need to be ready. Dr. Park, do you agree? Yes, but I also think we should learn more about alien technology. If we have to fight, we need to understand their weapons and ships. Captain Kim. I agree with both of them, but I want to add something. If aliens come here, we shouldn't just defend. We should be ready to attack. Sometimes the best defense is a strong offense. Council Leader Santos nodded. Thank you all. The council will vote. The voting took 30 minutes. When it was finished, Council Leader Santos announced the decision. The Global Council votes to maintain the Great Silence. However, we will also increase military readiness and continue studying alien technology. Commander Lee, you have permission to expand the defense programs. As the council meeting ended, Lee Tae-ho felt both relief and worry. Earth would stay hidden, but they would also prepare for war. He hoped the preparation would never be needed. Dr. Park So-jin stayed behind as the others left. Commander, there's something else, something I didn't want to say in front of the council. What is it? I've been analyzing alien communication patterns for 20 years. Recently, I've noticed something strange. Some of the signals are different, like they're using new technology or new tactics. Different how? I can't be sure, but I think one of the factions has developed something new. Something that might change the whole war. Lee Tae-ho felt a chill. Keep monitoring those signals. Report anything unusual directly to me. Yes, sir. After Dr. Park left, Lee Tae-ho and Kim Hyun-woo walked to the observation deck. Through thick, protective glass, they could see the Korean mountains and forests above them. It looked peaceful. It was hard to believe that a galaxy-wide war was happening among the stars. Captain, do you really think we can defend Earth if aliens find us? Kim Hyun-woo was quiet for a long moment. Sir, humans have something that aliens might not expect. What's that? We're stubborn. When someone threatens our home, we don't give up. We fight with everything we have. Aliens have been fighting each other for almost 100 years, but they've never fought humans. That could be good or bad for us. Yes, sir. But I'd rather find out what humans can do than spend the rest of my life hiding underground. Lee Tae-ho understood what Kim Hyun-woo meant. Part of him was tired of hiding. Earth had advanced technology and smart people. Maybe they could make a difference in the galaxy. But another part of him remembered the destroyed probe from 200 years ago. The galaxy was dangerous. That evening, Lee Tae-ho returned to his quarters in the base. His wife, Lee Mi-young, was reading a book about ancient Earth history. She looked up when he entered. How was the council meeting? She asked. The same as always. We're going to keep hiding and hope for the best. You don't sound happy about it. Lee Tae-ho sat down beside her. Mi-young, do you ever wonder what would happen if we stopped hiding? What if we joined the galaxy? I think about it sometimes. But then I remember that 400 planets have been destroyed in this war. I don't want Earth to be number 401. Neither do I. But sometimes I wonder if hiding is just delaying the inevitable. Maybe we'll be found eventually no matter what we do. Mi-young took his hand. Then we'll deal with that when it happens. For now, our children are safe. Our planet is safe. That's what matters. Lee Tae-ho knew she was right, but he couldn't shake the feeling that change was coming. Somewhere in the galaxy, aliens were fighting and dying. Refugee ships were fleeing toward unknown destinations. New weapons were being developed. And Earth sat quietly in space, pretending to be empty. In her laboratory, Dr. Park So-jin worked late into the night. She had dozens of computer screens, showing alien signals and communications. Most of it was routine military chatter. Orders to move ships, reports of battles, requests for supplies. But some signals were different. They used words she had never heard before. They mentioned places. Lieutenant Choi Min-ho was having a normal morning on the patrol ship Blue Wave when everything changed. He was drinking coffee and watching the Pacific Ocean through the ship's windows. The water was calm and blue. Seabirds flew overhead. It was the kind of peaceful day that made him happy to serve in Earth's Navy. Then the sky caught fire. A bright streak of light appeared above the clouds, moving fast toward the ocean. Choi Min-ho dropped his coffee cup and ran to the communications station. "Command, this is Blue Wave," he spoke into the radio. "We have an unidentified object falling from the sky. It's big and it's coming down fast." "Blue Wave, this is Pacific Command. Can you identify the object?" Choi Min-ho looked through binoculars at the falling object. It was silver and shaped, like a long triangle. Smoke poured from holes in its side. This was not any aircraft he had ever seen. "Command, this is not human technology. I repeat, this is not human technology." The object hit the ocean 2 kilometers away from the Blue Wave. The impact created a huge splash and sent waves across the water. Steam rose from where the object had disappeared beneath the surface. "Command, the object has crashed into the ocean, requesting instructions. Blue Wave, approach the crash site but do not get too close. We are sending support vessels." Choi Min-ho ordered his crew to move toward the crash site. As they got closer, they could see pieces of strange metal floating on the water. The metal was unlike anything on Earth. It seemed to change color in the sunlight. Then something else appeared in the sky. 3 large ships descended from the clouds. They were dark red and covered with weapons. They moved silently through the air, their shadows falling across the ocean like storm clouds. "Command, we have 3 more ships. They're not falling, they're flying." The alien ship stopped above the crash site. One of them sent a beam of light into the water. The beam was scanning for something. Looking for the ship that had crashed, Choi Min-ho realized he was witnessing first contact between Earth and aliens. But this was not the peaceful meeting that people had imagined. This was something else. Something dangerous. "All ships, this is Admiral Song Dong-jin speaking." The Admiral's voice came through the radio from Navy headquarters. "You are witnessing an alien incursion. Do not approach the alien vessels. Do not attempt communication. Record everything and report back." Choi Min-ho watched through his binoculars as the alien ships continued their search. After 10 minutes, one of them found what it was looking for. The ship's beam pulled something from the ocean. It was wreckage from the crashed vessel. Then the aliens noticed the Blue Wave. One of the red ships turned toward them. It moved slowly at first, then faster. Choi Min-ho could see weapons, turning to point at his ship. "All crew, prepare for emergency maneuvers," he ordered. "Engine room, give me full power." The Blue Wave turned and accelerated away from the alien ship. Behind them, the alien vessel followed. It was much faster than any human ship. "Command, we are being pursued by an alien vessel. It's gaining on us. Blue Wave, there are fighter jets coming to help you. Hold your position for 2 more minutes." 2 minutes felt like 2 hours. The alien ship got closer and closer. Choi Min-ho could see details on its hull. Strange writing, weapon ports, engines that glowed like small suns. Then Earth's fighter jets arrived. 6 F-35 fighters streaked across the sky toward the alien ship. They fired missiles at the red vessel. The missiles hit, but they seemed to have no effect. The alien ship had some kind of protective shield. The alien ship fired back. A beam of blue energy shot from the alien vessel and struck one of the fighter jets. The human aircraft exploded instantly. The other pilots scattered, trying to avoid. The alien weapons. Command, our weapons are not effective against alien shields. Repeat, our weapons are not working. In the defense center, Commander Lee Tae-ho watched the battle through satellite feeds. This was Earth's worst nightmare coming true. Aliens had found them and they were hostile. Get me Captain Kim Hyun-woo, he ordered, and contact Dr. Park So-jin. We need to understand what we're dealing with. Kim Hyun-woo arrived within minutes. He had been training with his rangers when the alert came. Dr. Park So-jin came running from her laboratory, still wearing her white lab coat. Commander, what's the situation? Kim Hyun-woo asked. Aliens have arrived at Earth. One ship crashed. In the Pacific. 3 others are searching for it. They've already destroyed one of our fighters. Dr. Park So-jin studied the images on the screens. Those are Vorthak ships, she said. I recognize the design from intercepted communications. They're warriors, very aggressive. What do they want? Probably whatever was on the crashed ship. The Vorthak don't give up easily. If something valuable crashed here, they'll do anything to get it back. On the screens, they watched more human ships arrive at the battle site. The aliens seemed annoyed by the human presence. One of the red ships fired a warning shot that created a massive explosion in the water. Then a voice spoke from the alien ship. It was broadcast on all human communication frequencies. Primitive inhabitants of this system, the voice said in perfect English. You will withdraw from this area immediately. We are recovering stolen property. Interference will result in the destruction of your vessels and cities. Commander Lee Tae-ho felt anger rising in his chest. These aliens had come to Earth's oceans and were giving orders as if they owned the place. Open a communication channel, he ordered. Sir, are you sure? The Great Silence Protocol? The Great Silence is over. Open the channel. Lee Tae-ho spoke into the microphone. Alien vessels, this is Commander Lee Tae-ho of Earth Defense Forces. You are in Earth's territorial waters. You will explain your presence here and submit to our authority. There was silence for several seconds. Then the alien voice responded, Earth, we have no record of inhabited worlds in this system. You are classified as a primitive species with no space travel capability. You have no authority here. You're wrong about that. This is our planet, our system, and our ocean. You will leave immediately. The alien laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. Little primitives, you do not understand. We are the Vorthak Empire. We take what we want. If you continue to interfere, we will demonstrate why the galaxy fears us. To prove their point, one of the alien ships fired at a small uninhabited island. The energy beam turned the entire island into dust and steam in seconds. Dr. Park So-jin grabbed Lee Tae-ho's arm. Commander, I'm picking up more signals. There are other ships coming, not Vorthak ships. Different ones. How many? At least 5? Maybe more. They'll be here in less than an hour. Kim Hyun-woo stepped forward. Sir, request permission to deploy ranger teams to the crash site. If there's alien technology in our ocean, we should try to recover it before they do. Permission granted. But be careful, Captain. We don't know what we're dealing with. As Kim Hyun-woo left to organize his mission, engineer Yoon Ji-hee arrived in the command center. She was young and brilliant, the kind of person who could understand any machine after looking at it for 5 minutes. Commander, I've been monitoring the alien ships, she said. Their energy shields work differently than anything in our databases, but I think I might be able to find a weakness. How long do you need? Give me access to the wreckage when Captain Kim recovers it. I can probably figure out their technology pretty quickly. Meanwhile, in the Pacific Ocean, Kim Hyun-woo led his rangers toward the crash site in fast attack boats. They wore diving suits and carried underwater equipment. Their mission was to reach the crashed alien ship before the Vorthak could recover it. The water above the crash site was churning with alien energy beams. The Vorthak ships were trying to lift the wreckage, but something was wrong. Their beams couldn't get a solid grip on the crashed vessel. Captain, this is Sergeant Lim Woo-jin, came a voice over the radio. I'm detecting interference from the wreckage. I think the crashed ship is jamming the Vorthak salvage beams. Can we use that to our advantage? Maybe. If we can reach the wreck first, we might be able to grab some pieces before they figure out how to stop the jamming. Kim Hyun-woo made a quick decision. All teams dive now. Get to the wreck and grab whatever you can carry. We have maybe 10 minutes before those aliens get angry enough to start shooting at us. The Rangers dove into the dark water. The crashed ship had settled on the ocean floor about 50 meters down. It was larger than they had expected, maybe the size of a small building. Parts of it were broken off and scattered across the seafloor. Sergeant Lim Woo-jin reached the wreck first. He used cutting tools to remove a section of the alien hull. The metal was incredibly light but felt stronger than steel. Other Rangers collected pieces of alien equipment and computer components. Above them, the Vorthak ships were getting impatient. They started firing into the water, trying to destroy whatever was jamming their salvage operation. "All teams, surface now," Kim Hyun-woo ordered. "We've got what we came for." The Rangers swam quickly toward their boats. Behind them, explosions from alien weapons lit up the underwater darkness. They reached the surface just as the new alien ships arrived. These ships were different from the Vorthak vessels. They were silver and blue with smooth curves instead of sharp edges. Dr. Park So-jin had been right. These were ships from the Helix Confederation. The Helix ships immediately opened fire on the Vorthak vessels. Blue energy. Engineer Yoon Ji-hai had never been so excited and terrified at the same time. In front of her lay pieces of actual alien technology, recovered from the crashed ship by Captain Kim's Rangers. The metal components were like nothing she had ever seen. They seemed to absorb light, then reflect it back in strange patterns. "Commander Lee, you need to see this," she called from her laboratory. Lee Tae-ho hurried to the engineering section, followed by Dr. Park So-jin and several other officers. The laboratory was usually organized and clean. Now it looked like organized chaos. Alien components covered every table, connected to human computers and analysis equipment. "What have you found?" Lee Tae-ho asked. Yoon Ji-hai picked up a piece of alien metal about the size of her hand. "This is part of their shield generator. Commander, this is incredible. The alien technology is advanced, but it's not magic. We can understand it. More importantly, we can copy it. How long would that take? With human manufacturing techniques? Maybe 6 months to a year. But Commander, that's not the amazing part." She led them to another table where she had connected alien components to a human computer. Data flowed across the screen in languages that humans couldn't read. "I've been analyzing the data from the crashed ship's computers. It's badly damaged, but I was able to recover some files. Commander, the aliens have been watching us." Dr. Park So-jin stepped closer to the screen. "What do you mean, watching us?" "Look at this." Yoon Ji-hai pointed to a series of images on the screen. They showed Earth from space, taken at different times over many years. These photos go back decades. The aliens knew we were here, but they didn't think we were important. Lee Tae-ho studied the images. "Why not?" Yoon Ji-hai opened another file. This one contained text that had been translated into English by the alien computer's language systems. According to their records, humans are classified as dormant primitives. They thought we had no space travel, no advanced weapons, and no potential for rapid development. "They were wrong about that," said Colonel Bae Seung-min, who had just arrived from the training facilities. He was Earth's top military strategist responsible for developing new combat techniques. "Colonel, what's the situation with our forces?" Lee Tae-ho asked. "Better than expected, sir. Captain Kim's Rangers performed excellently in their first alien encounter. But we have a bigger opportunity. The alien factions are so busy fighting each other that they're not paying attention to us." On the main display screen, they could see the ongoing battle above Earth's Pacific Ocean. Vorthak. Ships traded fire with Helix vessels while Drift Clan raiders tried to steal technology from both sides. More ships arrived every hour, drawn by reports of valuable salvage. "Colonel, what do you recommend?" Bae Seung-min activated a holographic display showing Earth and the surrounding space. "Sir, I recommend we go on the offensive. While they're distracted, we should capture one of their ships. A complete, undamaged vessel would give us everything we need to understand their technology." Dr. Han Yuri, Earth's leading psychologist, spoke up from the back of the room. "Colonel, I've been studying recordings of alien communications from the battle. There's something strange about how they think. Strange how? They're not adapting to new situations. The Vorthak use the same attack patterns over and over. The Helix ships respond the same way every time. It's like they're following scripts instead of thinking creatively. Yoon Ji-hee looked up from her work. Dr. Han might be onto something. This alien technology is incredibly advanced, but it's also old. Some of these components look like they haven't been updated in centuries. Lee Tae-ho thought about what he was hearing. Are you saying the aliens have stopped innovating? It's possible, Dr. Han said. When a civilization becomes too dependent on technology, they can lose the ability to think flexibly. They become good at using tools, but bad at creating new ones. Colonel Bae Seung-min smiled. If that's true, it gives us a major advantage. Humans are very good at adapting and improvising. Prove it, Lee Tae-ho said. Colonel, I want you to plan an operation to capture an alien ship. Use whatever tactics you think will work. Dr. Yoon, keep analyzing their technology. Dr. Han, study their behavioral patterns. If we're going to fight aliens, we need to understand how they think. Over the next 3 days, Earth's military forces prepared for their first offensive action against alien forces. The plan was ambitious and dangerous. A team of Rangers would board a damaged Helix ship that was trying to repair itself on the edge of the battle zone. Captain Kim Hyun-woo briefed his team in the underground hangar. Around them, human technicians worked frantically to modify their equipment with alien technology insights provided by Yoon Ji-hee. Rangers, this is not like any mission you've trained for, Kim said. We're going to board an alien starship using tactics they've never seen before. Remember, aliens think differently than humans. They expect logical, predictable attacks. We're going to give them something else. Sergeant Lim Woo-jin raised his hand. Captain, what if their life support systems are incompatible with humans? Good question. Dr. Park analyzed the atmospheric readings from the crashed ship. The air is breathable for humans, though we'll wear suits just in case. The boarding operation launched at dawn. Human attack helicopters approached the damaged Helix ship, which had landed on a small island to make repairs. The ship was beautiful, like a work of art made from silver and blue crystal. But it was also wounded with several hull breaches and non-functional weapons. This is Ranger 1, Kim Hyun-woo spoke into his radio. Beginning approach to target. The Helix ship detected the approaching helicopters and sent out a communication signal. The translation came through their radios. Primitive aircraft, withdraw immediately. This vessel is the property of the Helix Confederation. Approach is forbidden. Instead of responding, the Rangers did something the aliens didn't expect. They split up. Half the helicopters continued toward the ship, drawing the aliens' attention. The other half circled around and approached from the opposite direction. Meanwhile, a team of Rangers emerged from the ocean, having swum underwater to reach the island. Contact with alien defenders, reported Sergeant Lim Woo-jin. They seemed confused by our approach vectors. The Helix aliens were indeed confused. Their tactical computers had no protocols for dealing with multi-directional attacks by primitive aircraft and swimming soldiers. They had fought the Vorthak and Drift clans for decades, but those enemies always attacked in predictable patterns. Kim Hyun-woo's team reached the ship first. They used explosive charges to create new entrances in the hull, since the existing doors were sealed. Inside, the ship was like a technological wonderland. Glowing panels covered the walls. The air hummed with energy from alien machines. Rangers, remember the mission, Kim said. Capture the ship, capture crew members for questioning, and gather as much technology as possible. The Helix crew fought back, but their weapons were designed for space combat, not close quarters fighting inside their own ship. The Rangers used human tactics, smoke grenades, flashbangs, and rapid movement through the ship's corridors. Within 2 hours, the Helix ship was under human control. 3 alien crew members had been captured alive. The ship's computers contained vast amounts of data about galactic civilization, technology, and the ongoing war. Command, this is Captain Kim. Mission accomplished. We have captured an intact alien vessel and taken prisoners. Back at the defense center, Lee Tae-ho felt a mixture of pride and concern. Humans had just captured their first alien starship, but this victory would have consequences. "Sir, we're receiving communications from multiple alien factions," reported Lieutenant Park Min-soo. "They're demanding the return of the Helix ship and crew. What are they offering in exchange?" "Nothing, sir. They're just demanding." Dr. Park So-jin looked up from her analysis station. "Commander, I'm detecting new ship movements. More alien vessels are heading toward Earth. Word is spreading that humans are more capable than expected." "How many ships?" "At least 50 from all three factions. Sir, I think we've started something that we can't stop." Lee Tae-ho studied the tactical displays. Earth was about to become the center of a much larger conflict. But for the first time since the aliens arrived, he felt hopeful instead of afraid. "Dr. Yoon, how long before you can reverse engineer the captured ship's technology? With the complete vessel? Maybe 2 weeks for basic understanding, a month to start producing our own versions." "Dr. Han, what did you learn from observing the boarding operation?" "The aliens relied too heavily on their computers for tactical decisions. When humans did something unexpected, their response time was very slow. I think we can exploit that weakness." Colonel Bae Sung-min approached the command station. "Sir, I have a recommendation. Instead of waiting for more aliens to arrive, we should take the fight to them. Use the captured ship to infiltrate their forces." "Explain." "We put a human crew on the Helix ship and send them to join the alien battle groups. Once inside their formations, we can attack from within. They won't expect treachery from their own ships." Lee Tae-ho considered the plan. It was risky, but it showed the kind of innovative thinking that aliens seem to lack. "Do it, but I want volunteers only. Nobody should be forced to fly an alien ship into combat." "Sir, I volunteer to lead the mission," Kim Hyun-woo said. General Oh Chang-soo had been retired for 5 years when the aliens arrived at Earth. Now he stood in the defense center wearing a uniform again, watching displays that showed hundreds of alien ships converging on the solar system. At 68 years old, he was Earth's most experienced military commander. The Global Council had asked him to take charge of all human forces. "General, we have confirmation from 17 different star systems," reported Admiral Song Dong-jin. "Word about Earth's location and capabilities has spread across the galaxy. Every faction wants to claim our planet." Oh Chang-soo studied the tactical displays. Red dots represented Vorthak ships. Blue dots were Helix vessels. Yellow dots marked Drift Clan raiders. But now there were also green dots, purple dots, and orange dots. New factions were arriving every day. "How many ships total?" "Over 300, sir. More arriving hourly." "And our forces?" "We have Captain Kim's captured Helix ship, plus our conventional military. We've started production of hybrid human-alien weapons based on Engineer Yoon's designs." Oh Chang-soo nodded. In 2 weeks, Yoon, Ji-hai had accomplished something remarkable. Human factories were now producing shields, energy weapons, and spacecraft engines based on alien technology, but with human improvements. "Where is Ambassador Na Yoon-young?" "She's in the diplomatic wing, sir. 3 different alien factions have requested meetings." Na Yoon-young was Earth's first interstellar diplomat. Before the alien arrival, she had been a translator for the United Nations. Now she had the impossible job of negotiating with beings from across the galaxy. Oh Chang-soo walked to the diplomatic section. Na Yoon-young was sitting at a conference table across from 3 very different aliens. The Vorthak representative was tall and covered in dark red armor. The Helix delegate looked like a human made of living metal. The Drift Clan speaker was small and moved constantly, as if unable to sit still. "General, please join us," Na Yoon-young said calmly. "Our guests have made some interesting proposals." The Vorthak representative, who called himself War Leader, Kethmore, spoke first. His voice was deep and threatening. "General O, the Vorthak Empire offers Earth membership in our faction. In exchange, you will provide soldiers for our armies and allow us to establish military bases on your planet." "And if we refuse?" Oh Chang-soo asked. "Then we will take your planet by force. You have impressed us with your recent actions, but you cannot stand against the full might of the Empire," The Helix delegate, designated as Coordinator Veltar, projected a holographic display. General, the Helix Confederation offers a more logical arrangement. We will provide advanced technology in exchange for Earth's raw materials and manufacturing capabilities. Your planet will become a valuable member of our alliance. Meaning you want to turn Earth into a factory? Precisely. Your species shows remarkable adaptability in manufacturing and engineering. We could accelerate your technological development by several centuries. The Drift Clan representative, who called herself Wanderer Nixal, laughed. Both of them want to use you. The Drift Clans offer something different. Freedom. Join us and Earth can remain independent. We travel the galaxy as equals, taking what we need, sharing what we find. And what do you want from Earth? Ships. Your people build things differently than anyone else in the galaxy. We could use that creativity. O Chang-Su listened to all three offers. Each faction wanted something from Earth, but none of them offered true partnership. They all saw humans as useful primitives, not as equals. Thank you for your proposals, he said politely. Earth will consider them and respond soon. After the aliens left, Na Un-young sat back in her chair. General, none of those offers are acceptable. They all want to control us in different ways. I agree. But their presence here confirms something important. Ambassador, how many different factions have contacted us? 12 so far. The three main powers plus several smaller groups. Pirates, mercenaries, refugee fleets, even some independent traders. And what do they all want? Earth, sir. Our planet, our resources, our people. Word has spread that humans are more capable than expected. Everyone wants to recruit us or conquer us. O Chang-Su walked to the observation window. Outside he could see human spacecraft rising from launch pads. The ships looked different now. Human engineering combined with alien technology had produced vessels unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Ambassador, I want you to send a message to all alien factions. What should it say? Tell them that Earth will not join any existing faction. Tell them that humanity has a different proposal. Dr. Han Yuri entered the room carrying a thick folder of research reports. Over the past 2 weeks, she had been studying alien psychology and behavior patterns from captured communications and prisoner interviews. General, I have important findings about alien cognitive patterns, she said. What have you learned? Sir, the aliens have a fundamental weakness. They've been fighting this war for almost a century, but their tactics haven't evolved. Each faction uses the same strategies over and over again. Why? Technological dependence. When a civilization relies too heavily on computer systems and automated processes, they lose the ability to think creatively. Their commanders follow programmed responses instead of adapting to new situations. Na Un-young leaned forward. Are you saying they can't improvise? Exactly. Humans excel at improvisation. We see a problem and invent a new solution. Aliens see a problem and consult their databases for the approved response. Oh Chang-Su smiled for the first time in weeks. Dr. Han, that gives me an idea. What if we could turn their own rigidity against them? Meanwhile, in Earth's orbital shipyard, scientist Kang Ho-sung was overseeing the construction of humanity's first true starship fleet. The ships combined human creativity with alien technology in ways that confused even friendly aliens. Director Kang, the new engines are ready for testing, reported his assistant. Kang Ho-sung examined the hybrid propulsion system. Human engineers had taken alien faster-than-light drives and completely redesigned them. Instead of the graceful organic curves that aliens preferred, the human version was compact, efficient, and powerful. Begin the test sequence, he ordered. The experimental engine fired up with a sound like controlled thunder. Energy readings showed performance levels 30% higher than comparable alien systems. How is that possible? Asked the Helix prisoner who was consulting on the project. Coordinator Veltar had agreed to provide technical assistance in exchange for better treatment. Human engineering philosophy, Kang Ho-sung explained. Aliens build things to last forever. Humans build things to work better. We're not afraid to improve on proven designs. But this violates established principles of faster-than-light physics. No, it violates established alien assumptions about faster-than-light physics. There's a difference. In the Pacific Ocean, Captain Kim Hyun-woo was preparing for humanity's most ambitious mission yet. The captured Helix ship had been modified with human technology and painted to look like a human vessel. Kim's team would use it to infiltrate the largest alien fleet gathering near Jupiter. "Captain, all systems are ready," reported Sergeant Lim Woo-jin. "The ship's identification systems have been reprogrammed to show us as independent traders." "Good. Remember, our mission is intelligence gathering. We need to learn about alien fleet movements and communication protocols." "Sir, what if they discover we're human? Then we improvise. That's what humans do best." The modified alien ship left Earth's atmosphere and headed toward Jupiter, where over 200 alien vessels had gathered. The fleet included ships from all major factions, plus dozens of smaller groups. It was the largest concentration of alien forces ever seen in one location. As Kim's ship approached the alien fleet, it was challenged by a Vorthak patrol vessel. "Unknown ship. Identify yourself and state your business." Kim activated the communication system. Using translation software developed by Dr. Park So-jin, he responded in perfect Vorthak. "This is independent trader Starfinder. We seek to offer services to the fleet." "What services?" "Information about the human planet. We have detailed surface maps and population data." There was a pause. Then the Vorthak ship responded. "Proceed to Sector 7. War Leader Kethmore will speak with you." Kim's ship entered the alien fleet formation. Around them, hundreds of warships from different factions maintained careful distances from each other. The temporary truce was clearly fragile. "Captain, I'm detecting something unusual," whispered his communications officer. "The different factions are using separate communication networks. They're not sharing information with each other." "That means they don't trust each other." "Yes, sir. And there's something else. Each faction thinks they have the best plan for conquering Earth, but none of them are coordinating their efforts." Kim realized this was exactly the kind of intelligence Earth needed. The alien factions were numerous and powerful, but they weren't united. Their distrust of each other could be exploited. Back on Earth, General Oh Chang-soo received Kim's intelligence reports with growing optimism. The aliens had superior technology and greater numbers, but they also had critical weaknesses. "Colonel Bay, I want you to develop a new strategy," he ordered. "Instead of fighting all the alien factions, we're going to play them against each other." "How do we do that, sir?" "By giving each faction." Fleet Admiral Park Jae-sung stood on the bridge of humanity's first true battleship, the Seoul Rising. Around him, officers worked at stations that combined human engineering with alien technology. Through the main viewing screen, he could see Earth's new orbital defense platforms and the 50-ship fleet that humanity had built in just 3 months. "Admiral, all ships report ready for Operation Peacemaker," announced his communications officer. Park Jae-sung nodded. Operation Peacemaker was humanity's boldest plan yet. Instead of waiting for the alien factions to attack Earth, humans would take the war to them. But this would not be a war of conquest. It would be a war to end all wars. "Signal General Shin Ah-young that ground forces are ready for deployment," he ordered. On the planet's surface, General Shin Ah-young commanded Earth's new expeditionary force. These soldiers wore armor that combined human flexibility with alien protection systems. Their weapons could switch between different energy types depending on the enemy they faced. "General, transport ships are in position," reported Colonel Bai Seung-min. "We can deploy to 12 different star systems simultaneously." Shin Ah-young studied the battle plans. Operation Peacemaker would target alien military bases across the galaxy. But the goal was not destruction. The goal was to force all factions to negotiate from a position of weakness. "Remember," she told her officers, "we're not conquerors. We're liberators. Every planet we visit gets the same message. The war is over. Humanity offers a better way." In the Intelligence Center, Director Lee Kyung-ho coordinated the most complex information operation in human history. His agents had infiltrated alien communication networks across dozens of star systems. They knew where every major fleet was located, what weapons they carried, and how their commanders thought. Director, we're receiving surrender offers from 6 minor factions, reported his chief analyst. They want to avoid fighting humans entirely. What about the major powers? The Vorthak Empire is mobilizing for a final assault on Earth. The Helix Confederation is trying to form a defensive alliance. The Drift clans are scattered and confused. Lee Kyung-ho smiled. Perfect. When your enemies are divided and panicking, that's when you offer them hope. The first phase of Operation Peacemaker began at dawn, Earth time. 50 human ships appeared simultaneously in 12 different star systems. Each ship broadcast the same message in hundreds of alien languages. This is the Earth Defense Force. The Galactic War ends today. All military forces will stand down immediately. Any ships that continue fighting will be disabled. We come not as conquerors, but as peacekeepers. The alien response was exactly what human psychologists had predicted: confusion, disbelief, and panic. In the Proxima system, war leader Kethmore commanded a Vorthak battle fleet when 3 human ships appeared near his flagship. The ships looked wrong to his eyes. They combined alien technology with strange human modifications that made no tactical sense. Primitive humans, you dare challenge the Vorthak Empire? He broadcast. We will destroy your pathetic vessels and then burn your planet to ash. War leader Kethmore, came the reply in perfect Vorthak. Your fleet is surrounded and outgunned. Our weapons are more advanced than yours. Our shields are stronger. Our tactics are superior. You have one chance to surrender. Kethmore laughed. 3 ships against 30? Your primitive mathematics are worse than your technology. Then the human ships opened fire. The alien weapons that Kethmore expected never came. Instead, the human ships fired something entirely new: energy beams that seemed to learn and adapt with each shot. Missiles that changed course in mid-flight to avoid defensive fire. Weapons that the Vorthak tactical computers couldn't analyze or counter. Within 10 minutes, half of Kethmore's fleet was disabled. The ships weren't destroyed, just rendered helpless. Life support remained functional. Crews were unharmed. But weapons, engines, and communications were completely non-functional. How is this possible? Kethmore demanded. Human engineering, came the reply. We studied your technology, then improved it. Your ships are using weapons and defenses that are centuries old. Ours are 3 months old. Similar scenes played out across the galaxy. Human ships appeared at major alien military bases and demonstrated technological superiority that should have been impossible. Alien commanders who had fought for decades found their fleets disabled by enemies they had dismissed as primitives just months before. But Operation Peacemaker's most important battle was at Nexus Prime, the galactic capital where representatives from all major factions were attempting to form an alliance against Earth. Admiral Kim Hyun-woo, now commanding a squadron of 20 ships, arrived at Nexus Prime to find over 100 alien vessels in defensive formation around the planet. Human ships, this is Coordinator Veltar of the Helix Confederation, came a transmission. You are outnumbered 5-1. Withdraw now, and we will consider mercy for your planet. Coordinator Veltar, Kim replied. You are thinking like a machine instead of a strategist. Numbers mean nothing if you can't use them effectively. Kim's squadron didn't attack the alien fleet directly. Instead, they did something no alien commander had anticipated. They split up into individual ships and attacked from 20 different directions simultaneously. Alien fleet formations were designed to fight other organized fleets. They had protocols for engaging enemies that approached in predictable patterns. But they had no doctrine for dealing with 20 independent attacks happening at the same time. The alien ships couldn't coordinate their defense because human weapons were jamming their communication systems. They couldn't predict human movements because humans weren't following any established tactical doctrine. They couldn't adapt their strategy because their computers had no programs for dealing with truly innovative enemies. All alien vessels. This is Admiral Kim Hyun-woo of the Earth Defense Force. He broadcast as human ships disabled alien vessels throughout the system. The demonstration is over. You have seen what human military technology can accomplish. Now you will see what human diplomacy can accomplish. On Nexus Prime's surface, Ambassador Nayun Young walked into the Galactic Council chamber. She was the first human ever to address the galaxy's leadership. Around her sat representatives from hundreds of worlds, many of whom had been fighting each other for generations. Leaders of the galaxy, she began. Humanity offers you something that your species have forgotten. Hope. The chamber was silent. These beings had spent almost a century at war. Hope was not a concept they understood anymore. You fight over the few remaining habitable planets? Na continued. You struggle for resources that grow scarcer every year. You send your children to die in battles that solve nothing. This is not strength. This is desperation. War leader Kethmore, his fleet disabled and his pride shattered, spoke from his seat. Human, what do you know of our struggles? Your species has lived in isolation while we fought for survival. War leader, we know more than you think. We've studied your civilizations for 200 years. We've watched your planets die from environmental collapse. We've seen your people flee as refugees from wars that never end. We know that this galaxy is dying. Then why do you offer hope? Asked Wanderer Nixal of the Drift clans. If the galaxy is dying, what can anyone do? Na-Eun Young activated a holographic display that showed images of Earth. Green forests, blue oceans, clean cities powered by renewable energy. Because Earth solved these problems. Not with advanced alien technology, but with human determination and cooperation. We learned to heal damaged environments. We learned to live sustainably. We learned to work together instead of fighting each other. Impossible, said Coordinator Veltar. The Helix Confederation has tried for centuries to solve these problems. Our technology is far superior to yours. Your technology is superior, Na agreed, but your thinking is limited. You try to solve every problem the same way. Humans solve problems by trying new approaches. She changed the holographic display to show Earth's recent industrial expansion. 3 months ago, humanity had no space-based manufacturing. Today, we're producing starships faster than any faction in the galaxy. We did this not by using advanced technology, but by thinking differently about how to use technology. The alien leaders murmured among themselves. What the human said was true. Earth's rapid technological advancement had shocked every faction. What do you propose? Asked Elder Quintar, the oldest member of the Galactic Council. An end to the war. Not a truce, not a temporary peace, but an actual end. Earth will share our environmental restoration technology with any world that needs it. We'll provide manufacturing assistance to rebuild damaged civilizations. We'll mediate disputes between factions. In exchange for what? War leader Kethmore demanded. Nothing. This is not a trade agreement. This is an offer to save your civilizations. The chamber erupted in discussion. The concept of assistance without payment was foreign to most alien cultures. Coordinator Veltar stood up. Human ambassador, your offer is logical, but difficult to believe. Why would Earth help civilizations that threatened your planet? Na-Eun Young smiled. Because that's what humans do. We help others, even former enemies, because we understand that everyone's survival depends on cooperation. Over the following weeks, the transformation was remarkable. Alien factions that had